Yeah, what did you think of the twist? I mean, if you imagine that you didn't know what was gonna happen.
Well, it's not hard to say because I knew that twist was coming anyway from the get-go because I knew from the comics that Ra's al Ghul did have a daughter, and I knew ages back that she was going to be in this movie. And when I found out they saying like, Bane's the son of Ra's al Ghul, I thought, really? Then they're going to have to incorporate the sister. But I think I think some people missed that twist completely. I mean, I've seen other people's reviews and I've had discussions with other people, and they've got confused why she, was doing it. Why was the reasons for it properly, and I think some people missed the point of it. But I think with a second watch, they'll understand and they'll get it. And I think that's why the director's cut might come in a bit more because she wasn't really in it that much. She was in a couple of scenes. She was in it just to say, yeah, I can be the secret baddie in a sense. But I think when the director's cut comes out, it will explain her character a bit more and the kind of reasonings for it. But yeah, I felt just if I didn't know, then I think it would be a good twist anyway. To be honest, it's like, oh, kind of the love again. It's kind of about Black Widow type thing. The love interest is the baddie, and it's well done. It's a well done twist, well executed, and the flashbacks do explain that very well. So.
What do you think of the end, where you see Bruce Wayne and Arthur Hathaway sitting at the table eating like Alfred, he thought?
Well, you kind of knew that scene was coming anyway. We had like a scene at the beginning of the movie where he kind of says like, so before when Bruce Wayne was going off, trying to find new ways of understanding criminals. He said he went to this little restaurant, in a foreign country, and I kind of knew that they were kind of setting that up for the end of the movie. Why say that little scene and show that little flashback of Alfred looking at the table, seeing no one there. You kind of knew that Bruce Wayne was going to appear at the end of the movie with that table. But yeah, I thought it was good. It was a good scene anyway. I knew he was coming, but he was still well done. I like just kind of Bruce Wayne living his life now. He has given himself everything to the city, and he has avenged his parents. He has avenged the people he loved, and he's done everything for this Gotham City now. And he just wants to, I think, retire and just live his life now.
Yeah.
He's had his vengeance. He's had his dark pasture in a sense, completed, and that's why I like the end. That's why I think he was good giving that ending to Robin in a sense, showing in the Batcave, because Robin can do good. He can become someone more, like Batman is, and it was a good ending overall. Batman had Bruce Wayne had his ending. Batman had his kind of legacy intact, and it's the start of a new chapter. We had the Robin or Nightwing, depending on how they want to do it. So I thought it was a fantastic ending myself.
Yeah. And what do you think about the characters? Like, which one was your favorite character? Which one did you like feel the most for? Like, what's the one that you kind of stood out? One of the actors.
It's kind of hard to say, to be honest, considering she's a fantastic cast. I think Tom Hardy as Bane was probably one of the best characters that I really because as a villain you have to show something. You have to show your own kind of personality as a villain. You can't just be a typical comic book villain. I'm evil. There has to be a reasonings. There has to be a certain mannerism.
Yeah, it can't just be a regular Disney villain, something like
exactly.
that.
So I felt his character was very fantastic, and he was very different from the Joker and very different from Ra's al Ghul, and he had his own kind of personality and the way he's dealing things. And like I said previously, I like the fact he didn't get mad. He just snap people's necks. He just did that kind of authority, that really nasty, if you're going to fail me, then I will kill you without a second hesitation kind of thing. And he brought a very different type of characteristic from that villain, which I wasn't expecting, being it's more true to the comics. And we had like a previous shitty version of Bane, within the Batman Robin. But at the same time, I like the fact that Bane in this movie was a puppet like he was in the comics, because with Ra's al Ghul kind of manipulating him to being a bodyguard and taking being the villain in front, so she can do her whole things behind the scenes type thing. And Bane throughout the entire movie, even though he is such a fantastic villain, a strong authority figure type thing, that type of nasty person, he still is a puppet. He still is manipulated, and I kind of like the idea of that. It's interesting. So that's probably my Tom Hardy, I think, did a fantastic job, as the Bane, of course, and I think he was definitely one to remember.
Yeah.
One of my favourite characters.
he definitely did a very good job as Bane, as a villain. Agree with you. I thought he was very good, and I can imagine that it would be very hard to be the villain. I mean, you both have to kinda not enough with you have to be evil. You have to be the one uh, who people are supposed to hate, but still you at the same time have to be one that the people still like and feel sorry for and stuff like that. So I can imagine that it would be very hard to be a villain in the movie. What did you think of this movie overall, like in words? What did you think?
Uh, yeah, I think it was a fantastic movie. Brilliant. I think it was brilliant. You know, it would definitely increase the epic scale of the first two, but at the same time, being very different and bringing something, something new, unique, if that's the word, to the characters. And I felt it was just a really fantastic ending to the trilogy. And yeah, I definitely recommend. And looking forward to the director's cut. To be honest, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. If there was a type of people that you would not recommend the movie to, who would that be? Like, yeah,
Well, who would I not recommend it to? Like,
minor age people, maybe?
well, not really. I mean, to be honest, it's open for everybody. You know, I think younger audiences, maybe depending on if you're brought up in a film environment, then you'll obviously like this movie. But for people,
Yeah, I think maybe
you
The
know,
Dark Knight, I would say minor age people would maybe want to wait a bit, because The Dark Knight is kinda a little, yeah, it's not a movie that I would recommend small kids to watch, but maybe, yeah, at least 10, I would say.
well, to be honest, I think it's depending on how old you can understand the movie. I mean, it is very serious. Even though it is a superhero movie, it is real people with real situations, and they have feelings. They've lost people, relationships and all that stuff. And it's a very serious movie, in that kind of realistic world. And I think it's more for an adult audience in a sense, but I think at the same time it appeals to younger audiences in terms of the action and in terms of the character. And I think as people grow older, they will appreciate the movie more. It's kind of like that Toy Story effect, when you watch it at a certain age, it's a good kind of Disney movie, it's funny, lots of jokes and stuff, but as you get older, I mean, I'm 19 and I watched Toy Story 3 at the cinemas and I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I love the jokes, but at the same time, it is a very adult movie at the same time, with adult references and adult themes to it, and so it works like kind of both flip sides. So it's a movie that I think younger audiences will appreciate older and older as they get older and older, watch the movie. So it works really, really, really well.
And that's something that I don't think you would get now. I mean, why would you get memories like that by watching something Cars or a stupid Disney Channel series or something like that? I think that's not something that you do anymore, really.
That's not something you can recreate. It's something that happens, really. And Toy Story was one of the first kind of Disney type, Pixar type movies, to do something very original.
Toy Story 1 was actually the first Pixar movie.
Well, yeah, exactly. So that's why my generation, anyway, at least, appreciates that movie a lot more, I think, than others, because it's just something so funny and so original. I mean, you watch it, my age now, I'm thinking, damn, I like about certain shows or movies because they have that type of nostalgic feel. At the same time, there's hidden kind of tones and references into it, which you can kind of pick up later on.
Yeah.
And the Dark Knight movies do exactly the same.
What would you recommend you to have in your mind when you watch this movie?
Well, I don't know. It's depending on if you're a fan of the genre, depending if you're a fan of the first two movies. I mean, if someone is just randomly going into The Dark Knight Rises, never watched the first two, and just going blind, then I don't know if they'll like it or not. But I mean, it is a bit slow the first hour or so, but it deserves to be. It has to be slow the first hour or so to kind of pick up that epic scale. But I think it's depending on who you are, really, as a person. I mean, if you don't like superhero movies, but I think you like this one. I mean, my uncle, he likes this franchise, this Batman series movies, and he doesn't like really other superhero movies because they're just the same kind of generic kind of good guy, bad guy, love interest type thing. these movies are quite different and they're very realistic, and they have characters that we care about, characters that we can relate to in a sense. And but just depending on who you are, really, it's just if you like those movies. Some people just see them as an action movie. Some people just see them as a superhero movie. You know, it's just depending on who you are at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. I would recommend you watch the two first. Well, first, because it is a series that is very combined. You sort of just have to watch the two first and see the third one then, because otherwise I don't think you'll understand it like fully. And yeah, that's a thing that I think you kind of have to going watching this movie. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm pretty sure that Andrew, you did so, of what you've said.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah.
Let's give you guys a question. Yeah, what's your favorite Christopher Nolan movie, and did you enjoy this movie? What did you like the most in this movie? I mean, like, what was your favorite scene in this movie, if you remember that? And yeah, if you're from my channel, you didn't see Media World of 1, definitely check them out. Click annotation or link below. Yeah, anything you want to say?
Not really that much. I think that concludes the review in a sense. Like I say, thank you for doing the review with me, a spoiler review. It's been pretty fun, and we'll definitely do another one soon for sure. And yeah, I'll probably put a link in one of my videos, I think, to your review, and I'll probably ask people to check you out, definitely. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this little spoiler review.
Well, yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Do the same with Andrew. I'll say bye. Bye.
Goodbye.